guys need to get with Mom and Grandma and start picking her brain. Let her tell, unless you've already done it, let her tell you stories and get a recorder, get those cell phones out and start recording. And get those pictures out. Build a story. Build a story. So many families don't. So, and that's a good word for all of us. Build a story. I've got to remember that too. For those of you who are interested, and I tried to put Ray's decorations in order of precedence. Amy and Lorraine's are all about precedence. This is important. This one's not as important. So I'll leave this back there if you want to look at it. And it all has to do with this confusing document called the DD 214. You think this is everything in the world. Well, I looked at it, and there are some things missing, I think. Anyhow. Let me open the microphone to any of you who might like to come and share a remembrance or two of your friends, your lovers, your dad, your grandpa. Now's the time. So, come on. And I'll go get some Kleenex if you need. Okay? Anybody? It's like going swimming. You got to jump in. The first step, the hardest is getting up. Come on.
I'm pretty soft heart, so you'll have to bear with me. I moved to Fallbrook in January 1979. And the first people I met was Ray and Mary. I bought a house just below where they live now. And they introduced me to the Assembly of God 32 years ago. And if it had not been for them, I wouldn't be where I am today. Because I thank God for them. They're wonderful people. That's about all I have to say.
We're here to provide life.
Look at all you people. If Ray could speak, he would be so appreciative that you all came. He used to have a favorite saying, thanks a million to anybody that did anything for him. And Ray, he loved to work on cars. I thought Rick was going to stand up, but maybe he can later on. The first car he ever had was that Oldsmobile. And I don't know, did you read that about how we met?
Yes.
No, how we met?
Yes.
I decided.
Yes.
I'll do that later.
Let me read that now. You want to read it?
Yes, sir.
Got it. Right here. Me and Mary had a prearranged blind date.
There you go. Okay, let's see. I wrote this out and gave it to Chaplain earlier, and I thought it was kind of funny. Ray and myself, we met on a prearranged blind date. I lived in Santa Monica at the time, and I had a friend, her name was Sally. And I had just moved to Santa Monica. I wasn't living there that long, and I was a country girl from Nebraska. And Sally said, I said, I don't know how you date in the LA area. So she said, well, I'm going with this Marine Butch, and we'll fix you up with a guy named Slim, which was Ray at the time. So Sally comes, they didn't have no cars, the guys didn't have no cars. So Sally comes, picks me up, and there I am in my saddle shoes probably back then, and anklets and all. Sally said, no, you gotta dress up. Get those high heels on and get that better dress on. because you're gonna need a guy and he's gonna be dressed up and you're not gonna look too good. So I did that. So here we go, driving down to the LA bus station, pick up the guys, and there's Ray with a nice dress jacket, spit shine shoes in the works, acted debonair and big like, and I thought, oh, no, what did I get myself into? He thought the same thing of me. Because I was so then we went, I remember they took me to a place, we went on a double date, Butch and Sally and me and Ray. We went to a place in Hollywood, of all places, called My Desire. So anyway, we went in there. It was my cup of tea. Some guy playing long-haired music and some romantic music, and that wasn't for us because we were both country, and much to say, it was a miserable date. So we kind of called it off. Then the gals I lived with, her name was Shirley, we always went dancing to a place called, I think it was called Town Hall, I think it was in Compton at the time. We liked country music, and we'd go up there fairly often, always on the weekends. So I think it was about 2 or 3 weeks later, we went up there. Who was up there but Ray in his blue jeans and his penny loafer shoes, and there I am, country style and nothing fancy. And so we kind of hit it off then. We thought we were all putting on an act, was what it was before. Then we went bowling all night long to get more acquainted. Well, then after that, he went to see his parents back in Arkansas, and I didn't know how serious he really was. And he was back there, and he called me, I forgot, it was midnight or something. And I still remember, I think he was in a bar probably someplace with his friends. And I still remember the song, I think Jim Reeves sang it, "Put your sweet lips a little closer to the phone and turn the jukebox on you." And that was singing in the background. And then we talked a little bit on the phone, and little did I know, I found out later when he went to his parents' home, he went there and his brother was there, and they got up in the morning, he was gone. He was headed to California, he wanted to see me, he went all the way across nonstop. So we've kind of been going ever since then, and then we got married, and that's about it. But he had a big love of vehicles. The Oldsmobile, as you've seen, he had a black Pontiac. He even fixed an old Nash Wrangler, and sold it. And then, I'm trying to think what other cars he had. Little Datsun. He was a car lover. He spent a lot of time in the garage fixing and working and polishing and washing the car every week and changing the oil. He loved to work on his vehicles. And then we didn't really see much of each other because he went to Vietnam every time, and I always went back to Nebraska with the boys. And so I basically raised the boys pretty much myself. He didn't really see much of the boys when they were little. And it was a hard time, that Vietnam, the 3 tours of duty. And I think I have it on the back there. He told me what had happened in May of 1969, that bad battle that they had. He lost I don't know how many men. He did tell me that much, and it's all written, and you turn the page to what actually happened. And so anyway, the Purple Hearts, I think we might have noticed something about a star on ribbon. I don't understand all that stuff. He actually had 2 Purple Hearts from what I understand. I think one might have been from Korea, and one might have been from Vietnam. I think so. So he had 2 Purple Hearts actually. Then he had that Navy Commendation Medal, and he was real proud of that. And then he was pretty sick for a long time now, and he was suffering for a long time already. And I still remember, maybe I'll touch on that, or I'm going to take it away from you. How do you say it?
Ma'am, you're in charge.
No.
Isn't that? That's what I like to see.
You might as well just go ahead and sit down for a while.
Okay, when Ray was in the hospital, he really got saved early in the earlier years, but he asked me to call a chaplain, but a pastor at that time when he was in the hospital in Encinitas. And I thought, well, I wonder what he wants to see the guy for, okay? So they sent a couple of chaplains, the hospital chaplains. Well, they were really nice guys. But he asked that one guy, can you get me a Assembly of God pastor? So,
Right, hoorah.
So anyway, little did I know that the Assembly of God church wasn't too far from the nursing home he was staying at. He was in and out of nursing homes anyway. So they brought down Pastor Sassy came so willingly, and he came to visit him several times. But the first time he came, Ray had tears in his eyes, and he said, Pastor, I have backslidden. I want to come back to Jesus. And that's when Ray accepted Jesus Christ back in his life again. And I think that was the most thrilling thing for me, because in my mind I kept wondering, is he gonna die and go to hell? Is he gonna get saved? Is he gonna? So as I look at him, I'm looking at a shell. He's not in there. He's dressed up as a Marine and all that, looks good. But I'm looking at a shell. He's not in there. And I think if Ray could get up and speak, he'd probably tell everybody, you people better ask Jesus Christ into your life, because life can be cut off so short, so quickly. And then that song that you heard, the God of the mountain, he's the God of the mountain, he's the God of the valley. I want to tell you how that come around. We used to like to listen to Gapers. They were on Saturday nights always. And long time ago, he had a woman, I think it was Linda Randall, that sang it. She sang it on the Gapers. He loved that song. But then as the years went by, we kind of forgot about him. So when he was in the hospital, really sick this last time, he didn't want to eat too well, and he was grumpy and everything, and I tried to feed him. And this lovely Christian woman, she was from Zimbabwe, a big woman, but the heart of her, she had a heart of gold. She said, let me try and feed him. And she said, what kind of songs does he like? And I said, well, I think we'd like to hear some good old-fashioned Christian gospel. So here she started with this beautiful voice, God of the mountain, God of the valley. And I still see the picture as she was singing it to him. He intently looked at her, and she was feeding it like a little baby bird, feeding her the young ones, you know. And he loved that song. He just ate it up. And that's the way that song came around at this funeral. And then he always liked that Walt Mills singing too. That was Tears on the Streets of that City. And I don't know if anybody knows, I think Dottie Rango wrote that song. She was a good writer of a lot of Christian gospel songs. And I'm sure Hal Potter over here knows who we're talking about. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Walt Mills that sang that song, I believe his son got killed tragically in a car accident.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. So that meant a lot to us. And, I don't know if I forgot anything or not. I know Ray would be so pleased with all of you here. My McDonald's friends, our family, and all the rest of you guys. I see Marines here, ex-Marines, and blah, blah, blah. And bless his heart, his best friend when they went to counseling was Willie Smith, and his wife are here. And he always talked to Willie. And maybe, Willie, you might want to stand up, but he always asked you, you want to do that? You want to do it? Good boy. Like Raymond said, get her, boy. He was his good friend, through thick and thin. I'll get you involved, Willie. I don't want to be alone. Can you do it? What is a good old boy here? I gotta tell you, he's.
You know, I met Ray in 1997 at a group PTSD meetings that we were going to. I think we went there about 4 years. So he's the smartest man that I've ever known. And he wouldn't shout about something that wasn't true. When you asked him something, he'd give you the honest answer about it, what you asked him. And it wouldn't be no lie, you know, he was just straightforward. And my friend,
He's a good man here. We'll get through it. You all right?
yeah, I just love him so much. He's in a better place now. God bless him and his family. And you too, Mary. I can't see anymore.
Okay, I'll say it for you. I'll say it for a way. He gets pretty, you know, he might have been a tough Marine, but he's got a soft one. But anyway, he'd always talk to Willie, and Willie called him on the phone. Now, apparently when I talked to Willie, he'd always ask Willie, his best friend, he says, I want you to present the flag of my wife. I don't know how many times he asked him. So every time Ray got real sick, I'd say, Willie, I better give you a heads up. He's not doing too good. But Ray was like a Timex watch. He'd seem to come out of nowhere, and he'd be on death's door sometime, and he'd rib right up again. And one time we didn't think he'd make it. He was on a dinner leave for a whole week. and he had to go through physical therapy, and that was over in Escondido, and that was when Billy Floyd Freeman went to visit him fairly often there. And anyway, he couldn't even lift up his head off the pillow, and his physical therapist got him going, and he was walking in a walker actually, so we thought he'd make it all the way, but then he started going downhill again. A couple of the people visited Aaron Lipton went to visit him, like we say, their son, and he visited him at the other nursing home. So anyway, that's how it really went. Yeah, Ray saw some tough times, and our marriage was up and down, obviously, like a lot of military people. I think when we went to counseling one time, we were probably the only ones that stayed married. The rest of them, their wives leave, they can't handle this PTSD stuff that's going through these guys. It is rough. And then Chaplain Holland was his heart. I met him, I remember, at the hospital when Ray was in the hospital in Camp Pelton, and he'd always encourage us. He'd always leave his paperwork, the heck with the paperwork, he'd go visit the troops. He'd be at the ER if we were in the ER. He'd be in the hallway if we were in the ER, having a hard time. And I remember the famous words he always said, "This too shall pass." Oh, he was a great guy. He was a great guy. So we all thank you, and we all thank you for coming. And I'm happy to see Dorothy. She just lost her husband, Bruce, and Lisa. So I'm with her for them too. And anyway, I can't see everybody here with reflections. But anyway, I know if Ray could get out of there, he would tell everybody, ask Jesus Christ in your hearts, because he wants to see you all up there.
Yeah.
And you know, as Pastor might say later on in the Bible, time is short. Time is getting very short. Hard times are going to come, and Jesus Christ is going to come like the shout of a trumpet. And just like that, it's going to happen that quick. So I hope everybody examines their lives, ask Christ into their heart, so they can go to heaven, and Ray's going to welcome them all in. Okay? And I had a laugh. If he would say anything, he'd probably say, "Don't weep for me, rejoice. I have been promoted. I'm going to heaven to be with Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior." I'll let somebody else talk. Boys and I had me. They sound here all night.
Ray was a master gunner. Mary was a sergeant major.
Everything but what I want. There we go. Well, my many years of knowing the Liken family, yes, it's between either 35 or 36 years. It's been a while. I initially met Rick, and you parents might that still have teenage children, you might bear this in mind. Be careful what your children bring home. Because the boys ended up getting married and left the home, and I ended up staying there. I didn't live there, but I was there almost every day. And I have my little spot on the little small couch there, and that's my spot. And when we used to all get together on Thanksgiving and Christmas, if one of the grandkids would sit in my spot, Mary would say, "You got to get up, that's my spot." And Ray, you know, it's interesting. Last time I was in this chapel, Hal might remember this, or some of the older ones here from the Assembly of God Church. I haven't been in this chapel since 1976, since my father, we had the service for my father here in 76. And the Lord's interesting. The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh. And so the Lord took my father home, and Rick invited me over to his house, and just like, you know, coming into the Likens home was like putting on an old slipper. It's very comfortable. Might not be what you're going to wear when you go out on the town, but it's comfortable. It just feels right, and it's just gives you a good feel on your foot. So I got to like them home, and they're good people. Ray wasn't much of a talker. Now, Mary and I are talkers. The boys are talkers. But Ray would sit there in the recliner and listen a lot. But I had him for more years than I actually had my father. And it was Ray that taught me how to change the oil in the car and to do the car maintenance. He was real finicky on doing the car maintenance. And had you use Quaker State oil. You all remember that? Quaker State oil. Well, and Ray and Mary used to go with me when I still had a real good job and could afford new cars. Ray used to go in there, and Mary and Ray would read that Consumer Report magazine, so they knew about all them little add-ons that these car dealerships do. That they just charging you for stuff that's unnecessary. And I remember one time when we got my 85 Nissan pickup, Mary had almost reduced the car salesman to tears. He had to leave the little room for a moment to compose himself. And Ray smiled at me and looked over at me and he goes, "I told you she was good." And that brings me to when Ray retired back in '83. It's kind of funny, you know. I'm older now than Ray was when he was retired, and than Ray and Mary was when I met you guys back in either late '76 or early '77. And I remember thinking, man, these people are old. Now that I'm 53, I don't think they were so old now as I look back. But one of the things Ray was now my father was a carpenter, and he knew which tool chest the tool was in that he was looking for. But, boy, if you ever walked into Ray Likens' garage, I mean, there was not one spot of oil or one smudge on that concrete floor. And I didn't really know what pegboards were until I went into his garage. And every tool was on a pegboard with an outline of the tool. And boy, if you borrowed one of them tools and did not put it back in the proper place on the pegboard, he'd come and get you and make you put it in the proper place. So Ray was real meticulous, and when Ray retired, I guess he runs into that problem that a lot of retired folk run into when they used to go into work, and then you're not going to work. So Ray started looking at Mary to do housework around the house. And one thing the Marine Corps teaches you is to be real fastidious in your, I guess, little chores and whatnot. So when about after 2 weeks of being home, Mary finally caught him, and he was going behind her as she would leave one room of the house to the other, and he started re-cleaning after her. Is that right, Mary? He started re-cleaning, and she caught him. She caught him re-cleaning after her, and she told him, she said, "Ray, do you want to be married in retirement or divorced in retirement?" And that ended Ray following her around and redoing the housework. And then he started focusing in on the yard work. But anyway, I was real blessed to know Ray. He was never a man of many words. He was a man of few words. But the few words he would speak were usually well thought out and meaningful. And I I will miss him here in this life, but I know where he is, and he's in a much better place. And I didn't know I was going to get a mention in today's service, but that was really touched me. I wasn't expecting that. But the Likens are good people, and we still have Mary here, and I believe that the Lord is going to help her and the boys, and we're just going to remember the good times, and we had many, many good times. So anyway, that's all I have to say.
Thank you.